Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to the Roadshow of Leonardo Accelerator. I am Paolo Salvato. I'm a Senior Vice President of Strategy and Business Innovation of Leonardo. And together with our partner, LVenture Group, we will bring you through the acceleration program of Leonardo Group and the call for startup we just launched. But before starting to go into the details of the program, please let me introduce you who is Leonardo. Let me give you some information about Leonardo. Leonardo Group is a global high-tech company in the aerospace, defense, and security sector. We deliver advanced solutions, which means systems, products, and services to dual-use with dual-use technology to both civil and military customers. We are, just to give you figures, we are among the top 10 worldwide player in the aerospace and defense sector. We operate mainly in four segments: helicopters, defense, electronics and security, aeronautics, and space. We are the partner of choice of many MODs around the world, in particular the Italian MOD, the UK MOD, and the US MOD, where we have a large presence. For example, our helicopters are in use among the US Navy, the UK Navy, and also, of course, the Italian MOD. We have also large presence in the commercial helicopters, where it will be used for especially the oil and gas sectors, but also for the very VIP persons. We recently also acquired Copter, which is a project of a single engine helicopters, which is going to fulfill the lower end of our product portfolio. In the innovation, we are, of course, we have just exposed at Dubai Expo 2020 our tilt rotor that you see in the little image below, which it flies as an helicopter and has also the advantages of a plane because it flies with a pressurized cabin and at the speed of an airplane. We're also following, of course, all the innovation coming to this sector, from the advanced air mobility to the eVTOLs, but also to the RUAV, so the rotary unmanned vehicles. In the defense, electronics, and security, we have an important presence and a very wide portfolio of products, which serves especially the Navy, with the combat management systems, for example, all the aircraft with all our suite of avionics systems and also communication systems, and also our land customers, such as mainly the Army. We are also a reference in for our government and institutional customers, especially for the cybersecurity from the protection of our system to the remediation and to all the necessary cyber protection. We also recently made an important acquisition in Germany with 25% of Hensoldt, which is the German leading defense electronics company. In the aeronautics sectors, we produce platforms, military platforms, such as we are one of the partner of the European program, which is the Eurofighter, but we also partner of the F-25, and we are developing the future generation of military aircraft together with our UK and Swedish partner, which is the Tempest program you might have heard. We also have important products for the trainers and for the people who knows, we are the supplier of the Frecce Tricolori aircraft, the one that is being used by them since long time. We also have military transportation aircraft, and of course unmanned air systems for our customers, both civil and military. We also produce aerostructures for both commercial planes, for Boeing and Airbus, and we are partnered with Airbus in the ATR joint venture, which produces the regional aircraft ATR 72 and ATR 42. In space, we have a strong position in providing and building satellite systems for telecommunication sector, media and telecommunication, Earth observation, and navigation. But we're also part of the exploration of our universe, where we provide our platform and systems and services to especially the Italian Space Agency and the European Space Agency. With Telespazio, we also provide our customer with all satellite services and value-added services coming from the processing of the space imaging from our constellations. We also are shareholder in Avio, which is a space launcher, a launcher of small satellites. So we cover also in space the whole value chain. To give you some figures, we are a group of around 14 billion of euro, and we have 50,000 people all around the world. We are present, as I said, in 4 main countries where we consider domestic, which is Italy, the UK, the US, and Poland, but we also have presence in about 46 countries. Well, our portfolio of business, it's segmented as you can see in this slide, between electronics, which cover 45% of our business, 30% is helicopters, and 25% is aeronautic. We are owned, our majority shareholder, it's the Italian Ministry of Economy and Finance, but we are a public listed company. As you can see, we are a high-tech company which invests heavily in innovation, and we invest 12% of our revenues in R&D, which means 1.6 billion with the figures 2020. But we recognize that the world is living an important transformation, and some of the business has been quite heavily disruptive. If you think about the retailing sector with Amazon, or the hospitality sector with the Airbnb, but also our aerospace and defense sector is going through a huge transformation. Thanks to the evolution of the digital technologies and the evolution of business models, who has been enabled by digital technologies, who are changing the way our customer also receive products and solutions, and new players are entering also in this market. I can bring you the example of space, as I said before, where we see new players, private, from Elon Musk and SpaceX launcher from Elon Musk, but also the Blue Origin from Jeff Bezos, that a few years ago it was unimaginable that these private companies could compete with established company. And this has happened. And as a matter of fact, one of our Cosmos SkyMed, which is an Earth observation satellite, it has been launched a few weeks ago with SpaceX. So this is now a proven satellite launches. So meaning that this is forcing also the aerospace and defense company to strengthen the competitive position, to develop new skills, and to increase our resiliency. Meaning that we need to be more flexible, we need to be more resilient, we need to be more innovative, still more innovative, and more creative, and we have to be more and more agile. So what is impact that we see today? We see that we have to be able, in order to compete, to be able to master both, which is the traditional innovation, but also the new innovation. On the traditional innovation, it is something that we are mastering and we know how to do it. And as I said, I showed you, we invest heavily in R&D. We also have just launched for Leonardo Labs, which invest in the key future technologies, and we want to develop technologies with a very low TRL. We are talking about TRL between 1 and 4. We also have invested in an HPC, high performance computing, which we call DaVinci 1, and has a computational power of more than 5 petaflop. We also continue to cooperate with universities all around the world. But for us, this was not sufficient, as I said, in order to respond to this transformation. And of course, we need to also master the innovation coming from open innovation. So we have launched several contests in Leonardo in order to understand what is available in the market, also coming from startups. We have launched also an internal entrepreneurship program in order to develop the entrepreneurship skills and to eventually create spin-offs from Leonardo Group. And we're also investing in scale-up and in startup, which is coming now, let's say, quite, it's usual in Leonardo to do so. We wanted also to establish our accelerator in order to have this continuous development and dialogue with the startups. And that's the reason why we launched the Business Innovation Factory, which is Leonardo Accelerator. Let me explain you a little bit more in details what is the BIF, as we call the Business Innovation Factory program. So we launched the call for startup on the 25th of January this year. And yesterday we had the roadshow in Italian. Today we have the roadshow in English in order to, again, explain you a little bit more in details the program and to answer to your question. We will close then the applications by the 14th of March, and then we will start the usual down selection process, which will lead to the selection of 10 startups and 10 teams who will enter our acceleration program starting May this year. The acceleration will last for 5 months, based in Roma, in LVenture Hub, and will end with a classical demo day after 5 months, mainly in October this year. The verticals that we have choose this year, it is related to first servitization and then autonomous systems. These are two topics, two challenge, two transformational driver that are impacting all the business that you saw that you saw before. So all our sectors are impacted by the servitization, which means the capability to provide products, infrastructures, industry, factory as a service. This, as you know, was starting by the possibility of provide software as a service, but is also impacting all the hardware world. And so here we are asking startups to provide us innovative propositions, innovative business proposition for contributing to reinforce our positioning on this sector, to propose new technologies or to propose new business model who can fit with our proposition. In the autonomous systems, as you see, we are platform provider from helicopters to planes, but we are also heavily investing in all the roadmap for autonomous system. We have the piloted platforms, but we have also the unmanned platform, and we are going to the world of autonomous systems, which is covering all the let's say all the dimensions of our business, from space to air to the ground to the surface of the water, but also to the underwater. So here we are operating in all these dimensions, and we are looking forward to receive propositions from startups who can really reinforce again our value proposition on this sector. We are, as I said, heavily present in all the new vertical mobility or eVTOL mobility or advanced air mobility, but also in the other dimension that I just explained. In terms of tech frameworks, we of course value the technology that you can provide. In particular, we are interested in artificial intelligence and machine learning, in massive IoT, in cloud computing and edge computing, in cybersecurity, blockchain, and also in the 5G. What do we offer? So what is our value proposition to you? What is value proposition to the founders? So from left to right, we provide 50K in cash to the startups who will join our acceleration program, and a 5 months fully fledged acceleration program performed by our partner LVenture Group. We also give access to you and to your team to a co-working space, which is open since different years, and it's very active, where you can have all the services provided for a co-working space, and you can work hand in hand also with the team of Leonardo and with the team of LVenture Group. But also at the end of the acceleration program, we provide follow-on investments to the startups we are interested in, and of course the industrial part, which is the proof of concept, the follow-on investments, and a partnership agreement. Last thing I want to tell you, you might have understand now that we are not a financial investor. We are an industrial investor. Our objective is to grow together. Our objective is to find startups, founders, partners who can really reinforce our value proposition, our position. And by reinforcing our value proposition, of course, the startup can really grow. We put ourselves at the disposal of the startup. We have assets, we have industry, we have competencies. So again, our value proposition is not only the cash, it's not only the acceleration program you can find anywhere. Our value proposition and the value we want to bring to the startups is all the industrial partners we really are keen to form with the startups that we accelerate. So I conclude here. I thank you a lot for your attention, and I pass the word to Paolo, who can enter into the details of the acceleration program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paolo, for the introduction. Thank you. I'm Paolo Dipierro. I'm Senior Program Manager of the Pre-Seed Programs of the Venture Group. And I would like to briefly introduce, first of all, to you what LVenture does. And first of all, I will say I'm looking at, there are already coming in a lot of questions. Thank you for the questions, and we will go through them just after my presentation. So I will go straight to the presentation. So first of all, who is LVenture Group? LVenture Group is an institutional investor. We are a venture capital investor. We invest in the pre-seed and seed stage. We are listed on the Italian stock exchange market. And this is our investment thesis, basically. So we have the so-called full stack approach. So this means that we follow the startup from literally the inception of the startup, so from the garage, let's say, to the hoped IPO or exit of the startup. How we do that? We do that thanks to 360 degrees support. So this is very linked to the always hands-on approach that we have, because we think that startup doesn't need just money. But very often they need a lot of support in different areas, and we will go through them in the later stage of this presentation. So how we do this? We are active from more than 9 years now, and we run more than 20 programs, investing in more than 120 startups. I saw kind of 60 of these 120 startups in the last years. As I was saying, let's go through the acceleration program, how it works. So basically, as also Paolo was showing, so I will go very briefly on this. This is more or less the process and the framework of 1 year, where we are now. We are in the first part of this slide on the left. So in the scouting process, we already received a lot of application. I think we are almost around 100 applications already, and we still have time for the call to close. So be sure to apply. Because of course we will give a lot of attention to the applied startups. Then there will be the selection with the selection day, where we'll finally select all the startups that will start the program. In the selection day, the selection committee, let's say, will be formed, of course, of LVenture Group people and Leonardo people, plus eventual vertical expert on the topic touched by the startups. Then there will be the 5 months acceleration program that will last 5 months and will end with a demo day that will be a day of presentation where startup will present themselves to a large audience, let's say, of course, in front of Leonardo. And there will be then the possibility after the demo day to stay. The so-called residency, so to still stay in the hub for the post-acceleration. Okay, I didn't put a number of startup there, but I put an X because that's an opportunity actually that some of you will choose that, and that we will push some of you to choose this opportunity, of course, because of course being in the space will create synergies. Okay, so how the program works. Okay, the program is divided in 4 macro areas, I would say, macro stages. So we will start from the setup. This is our classical framework, let's say, that we also customize, let's say, on the basis of this kind of program that, as Paolo was explaining, is a program with an industrial investor, an industrial partner. So we will start from the setup. What I mean with the setup, I mean we will be sure and work with you, with the startups, to be sure that everything is set in the correct way to then start really working and hopefully scale the operation and the startup. So after the first phase, we will go to the product phase. What we will do in this phase will be to basically go into all the details of the product, try to analyze if everything is built in the right way, with the help of the LVenture team on one side for the process, especially for the process and the project management side, and the Leonardo people that will be the expert on the technology and on the product. After this phase, we will go to the testing stage. Trying to see if the product actually works and does what it is supposed to do, to arrive at the end to the growth and integration stage, let's say phase, where we basically will try to see if there is a touch on the market with Leonardo, of course, first of all, but I would say more in general to see if the solution can be brought to the market. So that was the general and the macro division. If we go in the detail on how the program works, we apply the project management SCRUM approach. So this means that basically during the 5 months, you will work on a 2 weeks time box that we called the Scrum method called sprint, where you basically will plan, execute, and have checkpoint with the LVenture and the Leonardo team. This means that basically you plan your work for the upcoming 2 weeks, no more, no less, and then at the end of these 2 weeks, you can check your work, and we will help you trying to solve any problems you had, of course, and trying to help you in the planning for the upcoming sprint plan. So based on this structure and on this approach, this is the macro division of the 5 months. So as you can see, there will be more or less 22 weeks. So this means 10 sprint. I remember 2 weeks each. And you can see above the 4 macro areas I was talking about before. So the setup phase will take more or less 3 sprints, so 1 month and a half. Then the product stage, the testing phase, and the growth integration phase. What happens during these 5 months? It's not just work from your side. We, of course, we will provide a lot of contents. The one that you see here as seminars. This is, I would say, a general division, what we so far decided, but the number of seminars that you see in each sprint can actually slightly change if needed. Then you see all the checkpoints, so basically 1 checkpoint for every sprint. And there will be specific events. There are the one that you see in the row, the last row. So the SP stands for sneak peek. That are basically the presentation events where the startup will present their results achieved so far. So it's absolutely normal that during the program, startups are not already maybe achieving great results because they are working on them. And in fact, you can see the first sneak peek is the middle of the product stage, the product phase. So you will actually tell to people that will join this kind of meeting and this kind of events what you are doing. Also the problems that you are having, trying to find a solution, try to find also, why not, people that could help you in solving your problems. And then to the end of the program, there will be 2 pitching sessions where we will basically train you on how to do the best pitch you can do to the end of the program, and then there will be the demo day. So this is the team, the supporting team, that actually will help you during these 5 months. So the people that you will work with operationally, basically every day. All the people that you see here have different set of skills. Matteo Paradisi on the top left is the program lead, so he will be the person that you will speak to mainly. Then there is Giulio Piccione. There is the other person that will help Matteo in organizing and following all the program, and then a number of people. So you can see me there on the right, and then there are Alessia, Tiberio, and Marco. Each one of them, as I was saying, will follow you in specific areas. For example, Alessia, it's very dedicated to the pitching part, for example, to the communication, while Tiberio will help you with everything related to external communication, like press and all this kind of content, let's say. And Marco will follow you, for example, on the numbers mainly. But very, very important is that apart from these 6 people that you see on this slide, there will be actually more than 40 people that is basically whole the LVenture team that will help you on a lot of different areas. So it was impossible, of course, to put all of them in this slide. And apart from that, I think that this is very important in terms of value that we can provide you, is the network of founders that we have. As I showed at the beginning, we invested in more than 120 startups. This means that basically our network of founders, it's quite huge, I would say. And so this means that basically you can find in a lot of different situations people that already had that kind of problem that you are actually trying to solve. So basically all of these people, where will help you? They will help you on, as I was saying at the beginning, on a 360-degree support. Okay, so basically on all the areas that you see on this slide. So of course on the marketing and sales part, but this is something that happens in the last part of the program, I would say, so from the half at least. Okay, but of course also on the product management, on the HR and team management, a lot of you, at least we hope, will have the problem, let's say, of hiring people during the program. That is something pretty difficult and pretty tough in this stage. We will help you on the legal part, on the fundraising part, eventually on the fundraising part. Of course, on the corporate inside, it's absolutely strong in this case, being Leonardo partner already here in the program. Also on the product management, of course, and the communication. Till the end of the program, you will start communicating outside, let's say, of the program to try to also bring the market to know you better. Okay. So going to kind of a synthesis, what the program offer actually. As also Paolo told before, the program will offer 50,000 euro in cash investment, another 50,000 euro of services, all of the things that we just explained, a potential investment of up to 500K post-program, if Leonardo decide to follow on, of course, and of course, an high integration with Leonardo. On the other side, what we ask to the startups, we ask for sure a team that is 100% committed. In this stage, we understand that it can be pretty difficult and pretty tough to leave everything else that you are doing and commit yourself just to the startup. But the idea is that you will have to commit yourself 100% to startup. If it's not possible today, it should be possible in the near future. On the other side, and I think I saw also a question on that, what Leonardo requests for that 100K basically of value, it requests between 4 and 10% of equity if Leonardo decide to follow on, so to make an additional investment on that. And last point, but important, we ask for the residency of the team here in our hub. The residency is mandatory for all the program. I already answered maybe a question. It's preferable, but no, as I wrote down in this slide, it will be strongly requested for key moments. Okay, key moments like the selection date, the sneak peeks, and the number of other events. Okay, so I will close this presentation giving you some tips on how to apply. Okay, how to apply, how to make a good application. Okay, so I show you some of the questions that you will find in the form on XaaS, where a lot of people find tough to answer on one side, and I want to stress the point that for us these questions are very important. Okay, so first of all, the video that we ask you to link to us. This is very important. It's something that very often founders underestimate. Okay, this is very important. Why? Because we invest in this stage mainly in people more than ideas. Okay, so it's very important that we are able to know a bit of you, of your team, and who you are. So it's important that you present yourself, and we see also how you present yourself. You know, okay, and then a general presentation of your startup. That's the other most important part of the application, of course. I would ask you please to upload a pitch deck. Okay, you can easily search on the internet for what a pitch deck is. Basically, we ask you to upload a PowerPoint, okay, or PDF. It's PowerPoint. I mean the slide format, but actually the file format should be a PDF file. Please do not upload like 30, 40, 100 pages of document, because and neither a wall of text on pages, because it will be impossible for us to read all of them. You know, we will receive more than 100 applications, so it's quite impossible for the team to read the wall of text and 50, 60 pages of business plans. Okay, we just want to know the presentation of your company, who you are, what you do, which problem you solve, how you solve it, what's the market, etc. But in a very brief way. I'll go to the other questions. The first question, this is what I was stressing in the slide before. So we ask who of the team is going to commit himself for the 5 months of the program. Okay, so who will work just on the startup without having other kind of activities and tasks to perform. So and so this is the part of the team that, as I was stressing before, it's very, very important for us. Okay, so we want to understand who of you will work on the startup, how many of you there are, and also the details of the team members. Okay, we don't want to see curriculum vitae, actually, I mean resume, but we would like to have just a snapshot, okay, of the previous experience of the people doing the startups, okay, sorry. So going to the other question, this is another part that is pretty important as investors, okay? For us, it's very, very important to see if there is a clean, the so-called clean cap table, okay? What we mean, the cap table is, I mean, how the shares are divided in the company among you. If you are not incorporated yet, it's not a problem at all. So you can just write down that you are not incorporated yet. If you are incorporated, please state how the shares are divided amongst you. And please answer to all these questions in a very, I would say, clean way. Okay, so we are interested in understanding who of you has which kind of shares, how many shares. If all of the people that has shares, for example, are fully committed, are working in the startups, or are just advisor or other kind of person, I would say. If there is a legal entity, so if there is a company owning shares in your startup, and if there is the case, if someone that is not 100% committed, it's not full-time yet on the startup, because of course very often because he she need to have another work, but we will be able and we will be willing to be full-time and to commit himself to the startup once you receive the money to pay him, basically. So with this slide, I just ended, and I thank you for your attention to that, and we can now go through the question and answer section. Okay, so I'll go straight to the first one. Okay, so Lisandro Espindola is asking, hello, had a look to the form in XaaS. I couldn't find, okay, how much equity you will take for that 100K. I think I just answered, but Emanuela, if you want to add something on that, go ahead.
Sure. Let me recap our deal proposition so that if anything was unclear, maybe twice, that would be better than one. So on the selection day, basically 10 startups will be granted access to our acceleration program. That means that you as founders will sign a contract with Leonardo. This contract with Leonardo will enable you to receive a full package, which includes 50K euros cash, plus 50K euros in services. Those services will be consisting in the 5-month acceleration program, the access to the co-working space, plus special workshops and mentorships with Leonardo engineers and experts. Only if at the demo day your startup will be selected, then Leonardo will continue investing in you. And our investment is twofold. So basically, we will convert the 50K euros in cash and the 50K euros in services into an equity value, which we'll negotiate at the beginning of the acceleration program. This, equity value is between 4 and 10%. If we convert this package, then we will go on with a follow-on investment, which can be up to 5K euros. But as Paolo was saying, our value proposition is really like an industrial one. That makes our acceleration program really unique. So we're not really like looking for an exit from you as founders or startup. We're really looking to work with you. The meaning of this acceleration program for Leonardo is really like that we'll be interested in your product, in the use that you make of technologies which are already spreading worldwide. So really like if we invest on you, that means that we will keep on working with you. So we will have sessions with you in order to look at markets and potential customers together in order to make your startup grow with us.
Thank you, Emanuela. Thank you. I see another question that is, it will be the presence in Rome necessary? I think I briefly answered to, but I want just to stress a little bit more my answer than to leave the answer also to Paolo. I think that, as I was saying, it will be mandatory just in some events, just in some cases, in some days. But I would like to underline the point also what Emanuela was saying, that actually Leonardo would like to work with you. In order to do that, I think that it's actually a lot of added value being in our hub, because you can be very close to Leonardo on one side, and on the other side surrounded by a community of like-minded people, I will call them. So you will find yourself surrounded by other startups, other entrepreneurs. That is something not so easy to find. Then, Paolo, if you want to add something.
Yeah, you said it correctly. I mean, we do not. It's not mandatory to have the full 5 months here, but only at the important moments that you have to be present. But as we were saying, there's a lot of value, we believe, to leave the program basing in Roma, in this fantastic ecosystem that we are where we are today, where it is LVenture Group, because there's a population of startups, founders, there's all the professionals that LVenture can put at the service of the startup. So very easy to activate. And if you have any issue, we might have the answer for, let's say, the program and support of LVenture. On the other side, also, there is the relationship with Leonardo. I mean, we are interested to build the relationship with the startup. And the first thing is to build a relationship with the founders. So being here present, we will have the possibility to know better each other's, and also to provide you all the value of Leonardo by exposing you to all our experts, technical experts, engineering experts, marketing, go-to-market experts. So we have a lot of value that we can provide to you by being here. Having said that, it's your choice. Of course, we will discuss that during the interview when we will be selected. But since for now we can say that it's not mandatory, but there's a lot of value.
Thank you, Paolo. So another question, I think this will be for Amedeo. The question is, can you give some more details of what you mean with servitization?
Okay, thank you for the question. On the part of our customer, we are witnessing a trend that is shifting demands from products to service. This is done by leveraging all digital technologies that enable the creation of delivery of innovative service in everything as a service mode. This trend started by exploiting the cloud paradigm that is rapidly expanding from software to hardware solution and products. So Leonardo intends to strengthen its value proposition in the everything as service perspective, also through the capability of startups able to provide enabling technologies along the whole chain, starting from the service delivery platform up to the proposition of even new business models. So what are we are looking for? We are looking for enabling technologies, platform for data collection and exploitation, enabling the design and the delivery of new digital services through the acquisition, the storage, and the processing of huge amount of heterogeneous data. In particular, for those topics such as predictive maintenance, asset performance management, and operational simulation. But you can have the ingenuity and the creative of startups to give us more views on that. Our products and solutions are great data producers of large amounts of heterogeneous data. So this is the core we want to leverage on. We are also look for platforms for the management and delivery of services and solution to support the objective and the missions of our customers in order to evolve the delivery model for current and future customers towards everything as a service oriented model. This is what we intend with servitization.
Okay, thank you so much, Amedeo. I think it's definitely clear. There is one last question I think I can answer myself that asks basically if some startup is not incorporated yet. That's a problem. We can select you anyway. I would actually say it's definitely not a problem. Very often it's the contrary of a problem. Okay, because at least we know that if you are not incorporated yet, you cannot have problem in your cap table. Of course, in order to then invest in you, we will help you to incorporate because that will be needed, of course. But we will help you also on that from the legal side, the notary side, etc. I don't know if some of you would add something.
Well, you can go.
No, it's really, I mean, we really like look at your solution. So really like is what Paolo said. So if you're not, I mean, incorporated yet, is not an issue. You will need to be incorporated upon entrance into the acceleration program because you will sign already like a contract which will foresee an investment by Leonardo. But in that, of course, I mean, as Paolo said, I mean, we will take care of you and support you in order to get incorporated in time, to sign the contract, to enter the acceleration program, and to take advantage of the full package.
Okay, thank you so much. And I don't see any other questions. So if people connected have other questions, go ahead now, or we will close the live. Okay, I don't see other question coming. So I would like to thank you all, and you will find this video, of course, on YouTube and also on the Leonardo page. Wait, I just see another question. See, when you push for that, okay. Aim.Doll asks, is your main focus on getting a product integration with Leonardo solutions or a whole new branch of products? That's a nice one.
Yeah, it's a nice one. I mean, I can take it. Thank you, Hendal, for this question. I mean, our aim is again to reinforce our competitive positioning. So it might be to reinforce one of the product to take the startup into one of the solutions of Leonardo, or let's say having a joint go-to-market, because I think we can add this product and solution to our portfolio of products. I think the variables are different. So either it is a contribution in terms of value, in terms of technology, in terms of business model, or again, it is something which is more mature. We can help also and to support for the go-to-market to our customer, who has the benefit for us to expand our portfolio of services. So this is the question the way I might answer. But Amedeo, if you want to complement.
Yes, if I may add, we want to boost our solution, of course. We are looking at technologies, enabling technologies, platform, and so on. And maybe if we find a solution or technologies that we don't look at by now, we may have new ideas in order to build new products for our product portfolio. It depends on what we can achieve with this call. So everything is well accepted.
I mean, I think it will be a nice, an happy problem if we have a startup proposing something on which we can build the whole branch of products. I mean, for us would be impressive, and of course we will do so. And I think it's really a happy program.
So looking for what you are talking about, Heimdall. So I just received another last question on my mobile, actually. That is, we will accept international startups, so foreign startups, and it can be a problem if they are already incorporated, not in Italy, but in another country. I would answer to the first part of the question, and then maybe to the second part, I will leave to Emanuela the answer. I would say yes, of course, we will accept international application. So application from foreign companies, that's absolutely the case. And it's a problem if they are already incorporated in some other country, Emanuela.
No, not at all. I mean, so if you're already incorporated, that means already that maybe like you have also done, I mean, some path along already. So, I mean, that's good for you. No, but it's not an issue as well. I mean, so, I mean, we will go on with you as well as we do with the others which are based in Italy. So, no issue from our side.
And let me stress the importance for us of having international applications from international startups. I mean, we are a global company. Okay, so we started this acceleration program in Roma because it's our headquarters. But really, we want to have international startups participating to our acceleration program. I think, as in all these kind of programs, it is important also to cross-fertilize also between the teams and to have a different kind of diversity also from in terms of background, in terms of startups, but also in terms of international origin. The other element is that, of course, our footprint it's in largely in an international market. So wherever you stay, we might have a Leonardo company with whom you might also cooperate. So we really welcome and we are keen to receive international application, international startups in our acceleration.
Okay, thank you so much. And I would like to to close at this point this live, just telling to the people, see you on XaaS. Basically, we will wait for your application. Feel free to share this video because you will find it on our YouTube page. Also on the, of course, on the dedicated website, the Leonardo dedicated website. So feel free to share this video also with people you think that might be interested, and look forward to see your application at XaaS.
Yeah, thank you very much. You on leonardoaccelerator.com, you find all the information, but you have also the possibility to ask other questions you might have coming to your mind after this roadshow. So we are happy to answer to all the questions you might have in order to have the most successful application. So looking forward to meet you in person, and please apply as soon as you can.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.